Everybody, I always get asked how I do my chips, so today I thought I would take the opportunity to video it and show you how I do it. In here, as you will see, I have cut some chips. These have been standing in cold water since probably about 10 o'clock this morning actually. I find it's always just better to chip them ever how you want, wedge them, whatever, and put them in cold water. You can stand them overnight if you want to, but what happens is it starts to remove some of the starch out of the potatoes, making it easier to cook basically. I always leave the skins on mine. It's just preference. You can do what you want. Then after that, excuse this is with one hand, so I'll probably end up with chips everywhere. Can't get them out of the bowl. Drain out the water, and actually that's not too bad, but usually what happens in the bowl is you see sort of a white film around the bottom. That is obviously the starch coming out of the potatoes. Just dry the bowl back out. As I say, very difficult this with one hand. Then shake the potatoes, pop them back in, and then all I want to do is add a tiny splash of water. You can see I mean tiny. Let me just turn that off. Sorry about this. So a tiny splash of water in the bottom of there, and then plate over the top as so. Again, very difficult, so just bear with me. Sorry for all the travelling. And then into the microwave, and here we go. Now I'm going to put this on full power, so let me just make sure it's on full power. Yeah. And then I'm going to pop this into the microwave with the plate on top, and then depending on how many potatoes or chips are in there depends on how long you need to microwave them for. This is our new microwave. I think it's only about 700 watt. I've never tried it yet, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on full power for about 7 minutes and see how they go. What I'm doing is parboiling them the easy way, which is this way rather than in a pan. So I'll set this away for 7 minutes and then I'll come back and let you see how they look. Okay, we are done. Just take the plate off. Watch, because it's obviously red hot. Just be careful with that. The chips are now sort of soft to touch. They're not going to fall apart. They're still quite firm, but at least it's took that hardness away from them. What we're going to do now is just drain that tiny little bit of water back out. Keep the bowl. Again, just dry it out the best you can. I'm sure you'll do a better job than me with one hand. Get the chips and drop them in. Then I think this is kind of where some of the difference is. I don't use Frylight. I use either Tesco or Asda, these sort of spray oils, these. And these are 5 sprays for half a tin, I think it is. But I do find that these work better than the Frylight, because I think with Frylight you've got to keep covering them and covering them and covering them. With this you do one coverage and that is it. So make sure they're covered, give them a good swirl around, and then add a good pinch of salt and pepper or some chip rub. We're having fish and chips tonight, so I don't really want a strong chip rub on there. I'll just add some salt and pepper on. Let me just have a look. Yeah, that's fine. So a good pinch of pepper and salt, and then, as I say, just keep swirling them around in the bowl. Sorry for all this super videoing of mine. And I have a halogen oven. Okay, so I have a halogen. This bit here is a separate attachment. It's called an air fryer, and what it allows you to do is to get your food super crispy. So I've used one of these for years now on both the halogens I've had, and they've worked really well. So what you do is you leave the vents open with this little thing here, pop the lid on as so, and then pick your temperature and time and just start it away. The other thing is I have a George Foreman, as you know, with this sort of interchangeable bottom plate. I've also made chips in here as well, and you can do them in a George Foreman if you've got one of these Evolve grills as well. So either or in your oven, whichever is easiest for you. These will be in here for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then what I will do is once they're cooked I will show you how they look basically. And that is how I do my chips. It's very similar to the way that I do my roast potatoes, but that's how I do my chips. Bye. There you have it. about 15 minutes later they're all perfectly cooked, and that's it basically. Just need to plate up tea, and I will post a picture at the end of this video.